Good morning, everybody. So this is a video response to NWA's April-May Prepper Challenge, and his challenge is to plant something. And today I am finishing up my garden, and I'm planting here a Hubbard squash. These are gray squash. They're beautiful to eat. Very wonderful. And I actually have a whole row of them already planted, so here's my last one. As many of you know, I use the deep mulch method, chip method. So there is that. You can see I have a whole, it's a sunflower, but a whole line of squash here. Then we turn into watermelons. Watermelon, watermelon, watermelon. Back here I have a row of delicata squash. Here I have my helpers, Ozzy and Sarah. And this row goes all the way down the full length of my garden. So in addition to the delicatas, the watermelon and the Hubbard squash, we also have these are white and orange pumpkins, and they're very good eating. And we go down further down there and you'll see there's more sunflowers, and we have corn. The very bottom row, you can't see it from here, but there's large sized pumpkins. Then I've got a couple rows here that I can plant in that are not currently planted. But this whole row is full of cabbage, little cabbages. This row is full of cauliflower. And this row is full of green onion. Well, actually, they're going to be full-size onions. They just look like a green onion now. But I'll take you to my above ground garden too, so you can see what I've got planted over there. So here I've got asparagus that I actually started from seed, which is doing really well. In a couple years it'll start to bear asparagus stalks that I can eat. Then I also have a whole row of cherry tomatoes here. But yesterday I did plant in this above ground bed a lot of tomatoes. I've got a potato here that's a self-start. Got a couple more tomatoes there, a tomato here. I tend to plant these pretty far apart because they're going to get pretty gigantic. Tomato, and then I've got a couple radishes, sunflower that decided to self-start. And then we go into tomatillos that I have planted the rest of this bed. And then we'll go over to the second bed and see, these are much farther along. These are radishes. I'm also trying loofah sponges. Did you know they don't come from all come from the ocean? They come from plants too. So those are loofahs. Bunch of radishes here. Love me a radish. Spinach. Beets are just starting to come up. I wish they'd come up faster, but they're just starting. And then another row of spinach. And then garlic. This whole thing is garlic. I'm a fall garlic planter. You can see how big the garlic leaves are getting. This is what happens if you plant in the fall. The heads are getting gigantic, which is wonderful. And then I have a bed over here where I have planted garlic in the spring. You can see how much thinner these are than the other ones. But this bed is planted with garlic that I had in the house that just started sprouting. So every time one sprouts, I plant it and I'll dig it up. Got carrots. These are onions in here, and then there's the occasional garlic. Garlic and onions look a lot alike, but onions have a round stem and garlic has a flat stem. And then finally over in this bed, which is one of my more newly planted beds. I have more radish, some more extra garlic. This was fun. I planted the end of lettuce that I bought in the grocery store. I just planted the end of a romaine lettuce there and here, and they're growing, so we'll see what happens with that. I've got my temperature thermometer here so I know how warm the soil is, so I know when to plant what. And then we have more radish, and these little guys are celery that are starting to come up. So there you go, my video response to NWA Preppers Plant Something. I plant everything that I have from seed. This is all the stuff I've got left over. It's extra, plus stuff in the greenhouse. I'm trying to give this stuff away. And let's see, what do I have here? I've got more squash. I've got all these tomatoes in buckets. I'll give those away to people. They can just keep them on their porch. Tomatillos, jalapenos. I'm waiting for these to get a little bigger before I plant them. More tomatoes, and I have all different kinds of tomatoes, and I've got poppies for flowering for the bees. So there you have it, NWA Prepper. Thank you for the opportunity to enter your contest. Bye.